Another year, another death smog. Delhi descends into deadly dystopia. Netas have cost us our number one asset. They promised, they failed, and now they divert. How many black lungs are enough? Our big focus on 6 p.m. Prime.
And that's our top focus here. I'm Nabila Jamal. Delhi literally facing a health emergency. We are looking at air quality index that is leaning towards the severe plus category. If you're rich enough to buy air purifier, then you survive. If not, you're left to die. That's how dire the consequence is if not dealt with immediately. We're going to take you through all the updates. The headlines first. Big declaration coming in from Maharashtra Chief Minister speaking at the India Today conclave. Mumbai, Eknath Shinde Chief Minister says that the two warring factions of the Sena can come together.
दो धड़े बन गए हैं, क्या वो कभी एक साथ आ सकते हैं?
देखिए, मराठी में कहावत है जर आणि तर, इफ एंड बट. इसमें कोई वो समय वक्त उसमें जाने से कोई मतलब है.
Aditya Thackeray hits out at Chief Minister Eknath Shinde at the India Today Mumbai conclave. Aditya alleges that Shinde intended to damage Shiv Sena, challenged 40 traitor MLAs to fight elections.
The only intention was to damage the Shiv Sena, damage Maharashtra and put the sustainable development and politics of Maharashtra on the back burner.
Arvind Kejriwal promises action on Punjab's stubble burning by next year, announces shutting down of Delhi schools, petition filed in the Supreme Court seeking immediate action on farm fires and pollution. November 10th is the hearing. AAP names Isudan Gadhavi as Chief Ministerial Face for Gujarat. Gadhavi thanks Kejriwal, promises to work for public interest.
ईशुदान गढ़वी जी का नाम मैं
Shiv Sena Hindu leader Sudhir Suri shot dead in broad daylight in Amritsar during a protest that he was staging. Accused killer has been arrested by the Punjab police. And Twitter starts sending layoff emails. Entire team sacked. Says offices will now be open on Monday, and this just a week into Elon Musk taking over the microblogging site. All right, to start with first, let me quickly take you through where the toxic level of air pollution stands right here at the Delhi-NCR region. To give you a quick understanding, Delhi-NCR region is struggling with air quality levels leaning to the severe plus category, which is well above 400-500 points in the chart. The air quality index when it comes to 500, which basically surpasses 400, is known as severe plus. New Delhi, as we show to you here, is now leaning towards severe category with 364. Ghaziabad, very poor air quality at 295. And then you have Noida, again very poor air quality at 231. Faridabad, also very poor at 257. And then Gurgaon, 206, which is also in the very poor category. Now, as what we know here is that collectively, pollution levels coming in from across the Delhi-NCR region is all thanks to 80% of the stubble burning that's happening in areas like Punjab and Haryana. And even as we speak right now, stubble burning continues and respective governments haven't really found a concrete solution to deter farmers from actually to actually stop burning that stubble? Is there an alternative for them? Doesn't seem like a concrete solution has come about yet. But pollution levels in the national capital is soaring. Surrounding areas have raised alarms about how the pollution levels in the air quality index chart has reached the severe plus category for the second consecutive day. This year itself, pollution levels have reached over 20 times the safety limit, forcing people to stay indoors, halting construction activities and even vehicular movements. In fact, the air quality index overall of Delhi stood at 445 today. And air quality, anything above 400, like I mentioned, comes under the severe category, which can severely affect health of people, seriously impact those with existing illnesses and children. Let's not begin to even speak on the kind of issues that children are facing, respiratory issues in the recent past. Stage 4 of the Graded Response Action Plan has now been put in place in Delhi in a bid to avoid further deterioration of the air quality overall. But while the national capital chokes on this toxic, deadly air, politicians have been passing the buck with one party blaming the other. Let's have a look.
It's that familiar filthy season once again. It's all around you, on your skin, in your eyes, inside your lungs. The annual nightmare that plagues the national capital region and shrouds it in a blanket of deathly smog. Pollution levels have risen alarmingly around Delhi, pushing air quality levels to the severe category with an air quality index or AQI of 426. Stubble burning in the neighbouring states of Punjab and Haryana, along with vehicular emissions and unfavourable Met conditions, are the main reason for the increased AQI level. Despite promising to battle the annual scourge of pollution, the Delhi government has ordered closure of schools for primary class students from Saturday, bending helplessly to another year of failure to act. Outdoor activities for classes 5 and above have also been restricted. Meanwhile, the government is also considering bringing back the odd-even rule on Delhi's roads.
दिल्ली में कल से हम प्राइमरी स्कूल्स बंद कर रहे हैं, प्राइमरी क्लासेस बंद कर रहे हैं जब तक स्थिति में सुधार नहीं हो जाता और ऑड इवन के ऊपर विचार चल रहा है कि ऑड इवन करने की जरूरत है, अगर जरूरत होगी तो ऑड इवन को लागू किया जाएगा.
The path where I'm standing is the Kartavya Path, which means behind me is India Gate and on the other side is the Rashtrapati Bhavan. I'm showing you visuals to tell you how polluted the air is. One is not able to see India Gate because India Gate has been enveloped by smog, by pollution. We'll now show you the pictures of the other side, which is the Rashtrapati Bhavan. You'll not be able to see Rashtrapati Bhavan because of severe pollution that has engulfed the entire Delhi-NCR region. Now, politicians are of course saying that one does not need to do politics, but apart from doing politics, finger pointing and blame game, there's nothing much that the political leaders at the moment are doing.
There's nothing left to do but hold high-level meetings now, even though it's already too late. Measures are now belatedly being taken to try and curb pollution, including work from home for 50% of Delhi government employees.
डस्ट पोल्यूशंस को कम करने के लिए जो कंस्ट्रक्शन डिमोलिशंस वर्क थे उन पर बैन लगाया गया था. व्हीकल पोल्यूशंस हैं उनको कंट्रोल करने के लिए जो बाहर से जो ट्रक्स आते हैं दिल्ली के अंदर, तो जो एसेंशियल्स जो कमोडिटी है उसके अलावा सीएनजी और इलेक्ट्रिक जो बसें हैं, वो जो ट्रक्स हैं उनको अनुमति दी जा रही है, बाकी पे रोक लगाई जा रही है.
As it does every year, Delhi's air emergency has triggered a slugfest in the political arena, with the BJP accusing Delhi Chief Minister Kejriwal of shirking blame and turning Delhi into a gas chamber. Amidst criticism, Kejriwal has made a plea.
6 महीने बहुत कम होते हैं, मतलब कुछ भी नहीं होते, इतनी बड़ी समस्या है. उसमें भी मतलब पहले कुछ महीने तो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर उसको सब चीजों को कंट्रोल करने में लगे. हमें पूरी उम्मीद है जिस तरह से दिल्ली से हमारी आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकारें काम करती हैं, अच्छी नीयत से, पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं हम, तो इसको भी समस्या का समाधान निकालेंगे. पंजाब में और दिल्ली में हमारी सरकार है. ये वक्त फिंगर पॉइंटिंग का नहीं है, ब्लेम गेम का नहीं है, इतने सेंसिटिव मुद्दे पे राजनीति करने का नहीं है. वो कहते रहे केजरीवाल जिम्मेदार है, हम कहते रहे वो जिम्मेदार है, इससे कोई समाधान तो नहीं निकलता. जनता को इससे फायदा तो नहीं होता. जनता को तो समाधान चाहिए. मैं देख रहा हूँ रोज अखबारों के अंदर केजरीवाल ने ये नहीं किया, केजरीवाल ने ये नहीं किया, केजरीवाल ने ये नहीं। अगर केजरीवाल को गालियां देने से अगर देश का प्रदूषण खत्म होता हो तो दे लो। प्रदूषण तो खत्म नहीं हो रहा ना केजरीवाल को गाली देने से, समाधान तो निकालना ही पड़ेगा ना, राजनीति से नहीं होगा, मिल बैठ के कंस्ट्रक्टिव अप्रोच करनी पड़ेगी।
If you're watching this in or near Delhi, you already know how futile this has become. Every breath you take is shortening your life, and that's on every neta passing the buck.
While the new restrictions are being imposed in the national capital to tackle the pollution menace, on the other side, it's the pollution politics which is reaching its peak. On one hand is Aam Aadmi Party's Delhi and Punjab government, and on the other side of the battle is the Haryana government led by the BJP as well as the central government. With video journalist Ankit, this is Amit Bhardwaj reporting for India Today from Delhi.
All right, let me cut across to our reporters who've been on ground braving the pollution. Shreya Chatterjee joining us live from Ludhiana, Punjab, where we see almost becoming the epicenter of stubble burning. Kumar Kunal joining us live from Delhi. Shreya, I'll start with you. What's the situation there when it comes to stubble burning? Has there been any quick measures taken by the Aam Aadmi Party there to ensure that this is curbed? Because as we know, close to 80% of pollution levels in the Delhi-NCR region is thanks to the stubble burning, the wind bringing all that pollution towards the capital.
Well, no, Nabila, there hasn't been any quick measure that's been implemented by the Aam Aadmi Party when it comes to curbing the stubble burning problem here in Punjab. We also saw Arvind Kejriwal and Bhagwant Mann accepting that in that press conference earlier today, that they have failed to curb it and they're asking for more time. And probably that's one of the reasons that this season we will have to breathe the toxic air. I have travelled the length and breadth of Punjab from Sangrur to Kapurthala to Jalandhar to Ludhiana, where I'm right now, to Amritsar. Everywhere the scenes of stubble burning, and probably because the light has gone down now you wouldn't be able to see the scenes, but every time that I've travelled in Punjab, it is on fire. It is an unfortunate scenario that the farmers are not being given solution.
If I can quickly ask you, we know that the problem is stubble burning, but what's the solution? Why haven't respective governments been able to come up with a solution?
Well, solutions are two major things. That, the reason is that there is paddy cultivation that happens in a major part in Punjab, because of which there is stubble. Now, to actually deal with the stubble, you need some amount of money that needs to be pumped in the hands of the farmers. They need compensation to remove the stubble and probably give it to companies who convert it into power or utilize in other purpose. The other is obviously in situ management. This also requires heavy machineries, which also cost to the tune of 15 to 16 lakh rupees. So there's a lot of money that we're talking about right now, which unfortunately has still not been directed in proper policies to be implemented on the ground so far as Punjab is concerned, because farmers, they don't want to burn the stubble, they want a solution.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to indulge in a crime like this. This is criminal. Stubble burning is throwing out pollution, and that's a criminal act, but somehow it appears respective governments have not been able to stop these farmers, because that's the kind of money needed to buy equipment to avoid stubble burning. But the irony here, Kumar Kunal joining us as well. Kumar, as we see that Narendra Singh Tomar, Agricultural Minister, has said 1,400 crores has gone to Punjab's farmers to help them, buy equipment so that they stop stubble burning, but yet this continues. We're looking at politics playing out, with BJP blaming AAP blaming BJP. Money has been given, but it's not been utilized the right way. What more do we know with these measures, quick measures that Delhi has adopted at this moment? Kumar Kunal, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, Nabila.
Yeah, my question to you on politics that's playing out instead of actual solutions to be found.
Can you repeat the question once again? Yeah, exactly. The politics is going on. Actually, for last 1 year or so, there is no high-level meeting whatsoever has been convened by any of the government, be it the central government. They should actually coordinate among the states. There are states like Delhi, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, who are actually responsible for this seasonal pollution. Actually, whenever the winter sets in for Delhi, this situation comes again and again, year after year. But there is no solution which has been discussed, and that's why we are facing such a bad air quality, which is unbreathable right now. We are in severe category for last almost 48 hours, and no one is here to think about it. They are talking about it, but only blaming the other political party for it.
Right.
So we need a long-term and a short-term solution.
I mean, that's precisely what we're hoping that they give a solution. Now, we exactly know that a solution is needed, which is what the netas are failing to provide as yet. But thank you very much, Kumar, Kunal and Shreya, for joining us on that. As the national capital now grapples with the severe side effects of toxic air levels, the nation's top doctors speak to India today on what measures must be ideally taken individually and the real dangers of air pollution and how to combat it at a personal level. Let's take a quick listen, conversation with Dr. Naresh Trehan, the chairman and MD of Medanta, with my colleague Pooja Shali.
Joining me now in this special telecast is Dr. Naresh Trehan. He's a chairperson and managing director of Medanta, the hospitals, the Medicity, and of course he's a prominent cardiovascular surgeon as well. So my first question is, due to the dipping pollution levels, is the Medanta hospital reporting any specific or a higher number of cases related to pollution levels where the air quality has reached literally 500 and more?
Yes, that's very true that we have seen in the last few days the number of people who are visiting our pulmonary OPD has tripled because of the fact that there are three categories of people who are coming. One is people who have pre-existing lung disease and their asthma or bronchiectasis is actually being precipitated by this high level of pollution, because with the high level of pollution means that the particulate matter irritates the lung. So it's already damaged and it becomes much worse.
What protection would you suggest right away, of course, till the time we reach a solution? Whether do you think keeping them indoors is the best solution? Because then I feel bad for these children. You know, they've been during the pandemic, been indoors. Now it's the pollution. So it's not the childhood that a child should have in these states.
You see, indoor air is no better unless you have your those affordable, that you can afford air purifiers. That it does help, no question. But the only way to protect the children today is, one, that during non-sunshine hours, because when the sun shines, if the sun is bright enough and it gets through, then it warms the gases and they lift. So the pollution level does go down in the middle of okay. But that doesn't mean, so what I'm saying is schools is okay in the sense that even if you don't have, most of the people don't have air purifiers at home, then, you know, there's no difference between classroom and this, but you have to travel by bus or whatever they do, that's a very high concentration of pollution. So now, the solution that we are asking for, which is the easiest, is that if we have become used to masks, even our children used to masks. So this 3, 4, 5 week period where we've experienced this high level of toxicity, I think the children wear masks to protect themselves. N95, even a triple layer mask will give you some protection, but nothing better than an N95 because it will filter out 95 of the pollutants.
And it's important people who are listening do adhere to that. Let's talk about, sir, the elderly who clearly have respiratory issues to a major level compared to perhaps the middle age. What sort of impact, how to protect, and, you know, are we also talking about beyond lungs and brains, health and heart issues here, that the pollution eventually does affect the heart as well, specifically of a certain age group?
No, exactly what happens to the lungs, we can also categorize the heart, because when these oxides get dissolved into the blood, they are irritants. And if you have pre-existing heart disease, naturally it increases, it passes through the arteries of the heart and irritates them. Point is, what you asked, construction, traffic, management, road cleaning, you know, the carpooling. I mean, and the advice of, say, for the next 2-3 weeks, work from home. There's nothing wrong with it. You did it for 2 years. So that's why we must go back into, this is one of the other additional nuisance of life, living in places like we do, that we need to go back to basics and say, okay, we protected ourselves in COVID, let's do the same protection for everybody, including our elderly, including our children.
I absolutely agree, and not correctly mentioning not just when it happens, but way before, so it does not happen and we do not have to live in a gas chamber. Dr. Naresh Trehan, thank you so much for your time and for helping us understand the sort of cases that are coming, what people can do. I hope the government is listening. I hope people are listening, and perhaps this will be the last of the polluted winter we have in the beautiful North Indian states of this country. Dr. Trehan, thank you so much for speaking to India Today.
Well, I hope those tips would help you for the moment, but let's hope the governments really come down with stricter measures to fight this pollution level at the moment before the winter season steps in. For all that and more, you could log on to indiatoday.in. You could also download our app for more. Stay tuned.